Bobby, you filming?
Woo! Woo! Alright, here we go. Woo!
Let's film, guys.
Totally like scuffed my shoe.
Sorry, Dad.
Dude, that's definitely from something.
No, it's not.
Alright, we're here. Ask the Boss episode
31.
Woo! Got it right. Ding. Make sure to make Bobby work a lot in this video. Make things drop from the sky. There you go. Oh, there you go. Pick him. Is that a cuckhead?
Yeah, that's a cuckhead.
Big cuckhead.
Thanks.
Oh, man. All right. So, special guest today. This is Mr. Kenton Engel, the most interesting man in Canada. Ghost Kenton. Welcome. He is our CMO for Core Nutritionals, America Labs, Nutrition Corners, all things that we do. Are we in the picture? Cool. This is a cute picture. Is that the screenshot? Is that like the cover photo? All right. So, we had some questions left over from, I think, the Seth Feroci event.
Yeah.
Related to the brand. And then some other specific questions related to some of the marketing. So, anyways, let it rip. Should we do a little product update?
Yeah, what you got?
I don't know. You tell me. You're the sales director.
Last time we talked about, I mean, we launched Crystal Star Candy. Like, we talked about that.
Yeah, like 4 months ago.
No.
Anyways.
That Super Mario episode?
Yeah.
We did a big product update.
Oh, yeah. So, shipping today from the manufacturer to our warehouse, dropping January 1.
It'll be
This is a test.
ISO.
This is a test.
Salted caramel. Core ISO, salted caramel. New flavor of Core ISO.
It is. Oh,
I had a brain fart because I'm thinking of something else. I got something.
okay.
Core test.
So this is huge. If you guys have been blowing us up, Core Test will be back in stock next week.
Me too.
Next week. Next week. So, let it rip, Maury.
All right, my name's Meaty Thighs.
Okay.
Get it right. And
You
I'm
are.
the host of this show.
You are the father.
Yes. All right, we had a really good question from the last Ask the Boss that we didn't get to. How can we as consumers know if a supplement company truly makes their products in an actual CGMP facility or not? Is there a way to check this without asking the company directly? Thank you. That comes from Derek.Silverman. Thanks, Derek.
Well, I can speak for ourselves. I don't know if I can speak for the whole industry, but we put it on our label, made in CGMP facilities, but other people could put it on their labels and not be fraudulent. I mean, that is a possibility. So, I mean, really the only way to know is to actually have records from their manufacturers, which, to be honest with you, a lot of brands would not probably give you. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, is there a way to tell necessarily, or is it just you have to go with a reputable brand where you know who's making the product and is very transparent about what they do, like we are?
Yeah. Well, I think we should define what CGMP is, right? Certification of Good Manufacturing Processes. It means that the facility has been essentially audited by the FDA and they conform to certain manufacturing principles. As far as I know, that should be public record. So they could check the Certification of Good Manufacturing Processes, or just check on the label. But like you said,
and they have to know what manufacturers the brands are using, which a lot of people are not transparent about. Yeah. So make it easy. Buy Core Nutritionals America Labs and you're good to go, right?
Easy solution.
Ding. Ding.
All right. Let's see. I had one.
This guy even prepare.
No.
Put the subtitle
None of
right
this
here.
is prepared, bro.
Pat can't read.
You're blocking, dude. You're messing it all up, man. Crap. I think the question was, I've only seen Doug train in the daytime. Is there a benefit to training in the daytime versus, I guess, the nighttime? Ooh. You only train in the middle of the day.
But that's not true at all.
I know.
That's not true at all. In fact, we just had a conversation 10 minutes ago that I trained in the morning this morning. And whenever I train in the morning, it sucks when you're first in there and you got to wake up early and I know I drag a little bit in the morning. But after that first exercise where I just try to get some blood in there, I mean, I feel great. And then I feel great for the rest of the day. And then my day is not interrupted. If I have to stop and go train for a couple hours, it's just you lose your workflow. So lately, I've been trying to train in the morning, which I've really liked. Now, the one thing that I will do differently when I train in the morning is like I'm not going to go in there and start with deadlifts or squats. I definitely have to get warm. You know, as you later on in the day, you are actually shorter than when you wake up because your discs compress, and some of that is needed, you know, for safety when you're doing this thing. So I definitely put, like today, I did deadlifts after doing 20 sets of back, and it feels great. So morning has been really good for me. I mean, to be honest with you, I say the best time to train is when you feel the best and when you can fit it into your schedule, right? I mean, there's no really better answer than that. Agreed?
Agreed.
Agreed.
All right, Ken, I got one for you.
Yes.
What happens when you have a super bad protein fart and you're sitting next to your wife? Do you let her rip or do you hold it in?
Who asked this question?
Mosin Yar.
Mosin Yar, that's a stupid question. You're out of here.
You're fired.
You're fired.
I'll let that rip.
That dude's never allowed to ask.
No, so you have to let it go, because what happens is, so I'm going to answer this question. If you hold it in, your just insides just rumble and eat away, and then you just become miserable, and then you just act like a jerk because your stomach hurts so bad.
I disagree. Fun fact.
You know, the day I told my wife I loved her was when she said, just fart, just go, let it go. And I was like, I love you, honey.
Fun fact.
It's a true story.
I've been with my wife for 5 years in general.
You've never farted in front of them?
Never.
You sound like the cuck.
I just haven't. You gotta maintain.
You've never?
No.
Dude, I farted on the first date. It's spelled real.
Wait.
Never. You can ask her.
Ever.
Jenna, comment below Instagram. Jenna Engel here. Check my wife's Instagram page.
Never. She's never.
You can tell I'm the CMO. Just Bobby, throw that in there.
So she's never heard you fart.
No, she claims I fart in my sleep all the time. But I can't. I can't verify that. I've never farted in her in a waking.
So do you like go to the other floor of the house or something when you have to take a dump?
Go to the washroom. But
she knows what's going on in there.
Yeah.
Has she ever walked in after you and it's been like lit up, or do you like?
I assume so, but because I think I put in the effort not to fart in front of her out of cordiality, she in turn reciprocates and doesn't mention it. Just destroyed the bathroom.
Wow, this went from not answering to the question to
deep.
This is deep.
All right, we'll move on. Our own Ari at the Arlington Nutrition Corner wants to ask Kenton, what are your thoughts on fasted training?
Oh, good Lord.
It's a very broad question, so let's limit the answer a little bit.
Yeah, so Doug and I have some different thoughts here, but this is my this is why I said we have points of differentiation. There's a significant amount of research that shows that training in the fasted state, in particular training in the fasted state after a long rest, increases, for example, fatty acid oxidation. It increases what's called the hydrolyzation of intramuscular triglycerides, which is the interjection of a water molecule to break a triglyceride up into two fatty acid molecules and a glycerol molecule. That it increases stamina, increases whole body fat oxidation, reduces total fat mass, etc. And there was recently a meta-study that came out examining the physiological effects of training in the fasted state. The meta-study is an analysis of many other studies that showed that those principles,
So can you differentiate between anaerobic and aerobic training?
That's part of the point. So like,
because there were studies just recently that show that there's no difference in total, fat loss based on a fasted cardio session or non-fasted.
These weren't cardio sessions. These were anaerobic activities.
Okay. So some of these, want to be clear for the folks at home.
Yeah, no. Some of these studies were specifically resistance training, weight-based resistance training. So that's part of the reason I've done it. I've personally trained fasted for 10 years, and if you really want to treat, use our product Load for a fasted training session. Take Load. Take some caffeine, right? Because caffeine obviously increases whole body fat oxidation. Wait about half an hour and train. That's the berberine in particular.
And then you would take core load before you eat.
Yeah.
Post.
I take it on my last set.
So 3 and 3.
Yeah, because part of what makes Load a fantastic product is the AMPK, adenosine monophosphate kinase phosphorylation. Adenosine monophosphate kinase AMPK is a master regulatory switch. It turns on anabolic and turns off catabolic, or vice versa, turns on catabolic, turns off anabolic mechanisms, depending on the circumstance. So when you take it before you train, it turns up catabolic mechanisms, which is precisely what you want because it increases fat oxidation. Because the metabolism of fat is a catabolic mechanism.
So even if I take 3-core load, I notice it. Like I feel pretty nauseous if I take it. So that would be an interesting.
On an empty stomach?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, part of the theory is people always ask me, why would you take a glucose disposal agent? I mean, first of all, I don't like the term glucose disposal agent. We've talked about this. I like glucose utilization agent because it is increasing the permeability of myocytes and muscle cells to GLUT4, increases GLUT4 translocation from the nucleus itself, periphery, does all these.
Bobby, I want to see, when we do this video, I want to see all the molecules floating around and substrates and reactions.
You know, have you ever seen that fucking Dan Brown movie? Was it The Da Vinci Code, where the guy's like in the room and it's like, yeah, just do that like right here. When you're training, obviously your blood glucose levels rise, your body breaks down. Right?
So the way I looked at it is like, I do not feel like I need to eat pretty shortly after I wake up. Like I'm hungry and I'm training, and I know I get better pumps when I eat within 2 hours before training. So my thing is, I think overall the way I look at it is I'm going to have a better workout eating and going to maybe move some more weight, have some more volume, stimulate more muscle fibers than I would otherwise. Mm-hmm. All things equal, if I was empty. So any of the possible benefits I feel might be outweighed by the intensity that I could bring to a workout because I've eaten. Like if I haven't eaten for 8 to 12 hours, I'm going to feel pretty crappy.
Well, I mean, the other thing that you and I have talked about on numerous occasions is that Doug is a world champion bodybuilder, and I'm some random with a beard from Canada. So, like, at the end of the day, if you're listening to this, I would probably take his recommendation over mine. But more seriously, I was
a smart man.
I would always tell someone to follow what feels best. So I would never tell you to train fasted if you don't like it. And obviously, what you've been doing is working for you. So
work.
Listen to me.
Cool. Good way to end it. All right. My boy Justin Draper at Jada Blitz asks: assume someone consumes PWO post workout. How long afterwards would you consume a meal?
Some of these questions, because obviously I watch post Ask the Boss when they come out. A lot of the questions require differentiation. So, for example, what is that person's goal?
Right.
My wife is cutting right now for a contest, and I have around 145 grams of carbs. Serving of PWO is like almost half of her carbs. So she wouldn't be eating another meal for a long time. Whereas someone like me, I'm in a bulking phase. So, in general, I think PWO's purpose is to immediately increase plasma glucose so that it can be diverted to muscle cells, right, used in repair or glycogen resynthesis.
Right.
So you're going to want to generally eat about 30 to 45 minutes after.
Yeah. So for me, I do a decent amount. I do more than, when you're talking about serving, you mean like our serving. So
yeah,
like I'll do like 2 servings, of PWO. So, I am generally not hungry. Like I could not eat after drinking, 600 calories in a shake. So for me, I'm usually more on the order. I make sure I get it in within 2 hours. Usually about an hour. Yeah, post PWO is usually about an hour and a half. Sometimes if I have a really intense workout and I'm just like totally gassed, I'm actually less hungry. So like I'll stretch that out even longer. But definitely within 2 hours for me, I shoot for an hour to an hour and a half.
I would say just whatever is comfortable. Yeah. When you get hungry. I mean, the old PWO, I would crash so hard, like after an hour sometimes, that I would have to eat before I'd like pass out. The new PWO has more of a sustaining carbohydrate blend, and I can last almost 3 hours sometimes.
I love PWO because of the way that it works in conjunction with ABC, right? Because our inclusion of velocitol and PWO. So you train fasted, intra-workout ABC, on last set take a load, and then hit it with PWO. Your pumps for the remainder of the days.
So I'm gonna try it. All right.
Tell them the marketing guy, it's just constant shameless product promotion. Like someone's gonna add, I should have included somehow how to take PWO with a wife farting question.
What brought you into the supplement industry, and also how did you and Doug link up? Meaning,
that's
ended up.
Actually, so this is Mullet Soldier.
Yeah.
Or should we say that? You might need to beep that out.
No.
So on the forums back in the day, it was like bodybuilder.com, Anabolic Minds. he was known as the mullet soldier. Again, beep that out if you need to. And one of the most knowledgeable people on the, I mean, we're talking literally
10 years ago.
10 plus years ago.
10, 11 years
yeah,
ago.
Yeah,
Yeah, it would have been 2006. Yeah.
Yeah, so like 2006. So a year or two after Core was initially born, you know, he was dropping a lot of good knowledge on the forums, and then he was picked up by USP Labs. So I don't know, you can give him your story.
Yeah, no, that's essentially it. In 2005, I tore my labrum, and I started researching alternative treatment modalities, right? Different chiropractic or physiotherapeutic mechanisms.
Oh, this is a good tie into the new product
Yeah,
we're launching.
which tie into a new product we're launching, foreshadowing Sis's commodity line. Holla. That's what you should bleep out.
He's also a rapper.
Freestyle rapper, yeah, closet freestyle rapper.
He mines Bitcoin in his basement.
Yeah, yeah.
All these things are actually true, though, so that's the funny thing.
Yeah, so it's true. So I was researching different treatment modalities, and I came across a compound called Cissus quadrangularis. In particular, I came across a study from an Indian university, which I think had forcefully fractured the tibulas of dogs, and they had, yeah, very ethical stuff. So they had run them on a treatment course of, I think it was 30 grams raw Cissus quadrangularis, and they not only saw that in the control group versus the Cissus group, that fracture repair was significantly enhanced, but that the tensile strength of the bone was increased. And that's because the way Cissus quadrangularis works is it increases the function of cells called osteoblasts, which are responsible for generating bone. And it also...
This is in Core Flex, too, as well.
And so anyways, USP Labs is one of the first companies to release a Cissus product, which back in the day was called Super Cissus RX. So I became an evangelist for this product. I didn't work for USP Labs, but every time there was a Cissus question, I was like, oh, look at this research, right? I'm not scientifically trained, but I was like PubMed ninja. Like every time I could talk about it. So the owner of that company, Jacob, one day asked me if I wanted to be a supplement rep, which back in the day, which you can ask Doug, which was actually like not a prestigious position, but it held some sort of cachet, right? People wanted to be reps. You got free product. And I think I worked for like 6 months without ever being sent supplements, because USP Labs is a small operation. But I was so passionate about the knowledge, about the supplement industry, about helping people with their goals that I didn't care. Doug then came on as a sponsored athlete for USP Labs. And we talked about this story a while ago. Doug's wife, Steph, was also representing USP Labs, and someone was just being a to her.
Well, yeah, like she was on the Oxygen forum,
Yeah.
and she was saying that somebody was asking her what supplement she used, and she said anabolic pump, glucose, you know,
Yeah.
one of the original glucose disposal agents on the market, awesome product. And, you know, somebody came out and said, oh, that's BS, you know, that product. So I was like, Kenton, just go on here, mullet soldier, go on here and like, and he went savage. That's what
house down. Yeah. I went in there and literally burned the house down. I was just like, you.
I was like, this guy. So I sent him a training program.
Yeah,
I was like, that was cool.
that's pretty much it. And then, yeah, a few years ago, I said I think I could help out with some things, and that's where I'm
Yeah. So the cool thing, the nice perspective that Kenton brings is that, you know, he was with USP Labs when they were $200,000 a year and $200 million a year. So you can imagine all of the changes that took place, you know, during that. And so I look forward to being $200 million a year as well.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Yeah.
No pressure.
No pressure.
Yeah, no pressure.
Okay, cool. What would you say is the best method to get past something that's hindering you from being successful? So if something is hindering you
Like an obstacle?
from, I guess so. That would make most sense. So if something is in your way, how do you get past
Plow
that?
through that.
Put your head down and get to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it really comes down to everyone has obstacles, right? You know, and like those are the things that make you better. There was this great analogy, I don't know where I read it, but it talked about, you know, obstacles are what really makes everything possible. So like if you think about it, like without resistance, like in a boat, right? So what makes a boat go is the propellers pushing against the current.
Yeah.
But without
Friction,
but it's the same thing, but the friction is going back. Same with like air, you know, is what allows an eagle to fly. Without that, you know, but it also holds them back from going faster. But without that air in a vacuum, the eagle would fall to the ground. So it's just like those obstacles are essential, but it's just really how you deal with them. And to be honest with you, there's no one way. Like we don't know what this person's obstacle is. It's just it really comes down to your mental and emotional fortitude and you know, kind of thinking through this. Sure, some of it is the smarts. How do you solve this problem or get around this obstacle or through the obstacle? But a lot of it comes down to just fortitude. You know, like, can you hang in there? Can you get, you know, plow on? A lot of people give up early.
Yeah. So there's a lot of interesting psychological research.
By the way, he's also getting a PhD in philosophy. Again, not kidding.
Yeah.
So this could go on for a long time.
Yeah, this scene will be when Bobby just cuts forward. You guys are passed out, totally asleep. No, all I was going to say is that there is research that shows that there's a lot of research that shows that human beings are terrible at a process called valuation, which does just what it sounds like it does. The value that you place on things. In particular, we are intrinsically terrible at assessing the negative impact of an event on our lives. And we're intrinsically terrible in the direction of overestimating how difficult obstacles are to overcome. So for example, when they do research on newly acquired paraplegics, so people who lose the loss of their legs due to whatever accident, they rate the prospect for the happiness of their lives as terrible. When you follow up with them years later, it turns out that their level of happiness hasn't meaningfully changed. So to overcome an obstacle, I think you have to put it in context. No matter how bad you feel about it now, it's incredibly likely you'll feel less bad about it soon. Once you make that psychological switch, then what seem like significant obstacles in your life just seem like momentary interruptions in the constant forward trajectory of your success.
I really think it just comes down to a lot of just...
Well, nobody asked you.
Your reaction and the attitude that you have towards the obstacle.
No, I think you're completely right. Everything comes down to an individual's psychology.
Right.
So I can't wait. So hopefully Kenton this year is going to be moving down to Virginia. I can't wait to do these podcasts that we're going to do because there's so many interesting topics here that we're going to talk about. It's going to be great.
When does the multivitamin come out from Core?
Okay, so we got the Core ISO in January. I would say late January is going to be Core Cissus, which will be a commodity product. Again, another great thing you could stack with Core Flex. We do have some other things in the works. Down the line, we could see maybe a greens and a multivitamin. But again, we're not just going to bring out a product to bring out the product. There has to be, it has to stick to our same principles. How are we going to make a multivitamin super premium over the top, better than all the other? I mean, because sure, we could tell a manufacturer to make us a multivitamin, tomorrow and sell it for, $20. That's not what we want to do. And so it takes a while. So I mean, second quarter maybe, if we're lucky, something like that.
So I think that's a realistic.
Yeah, I mean, all this takes time. And whatever I say, multiply by 2 usually, because everything takes longer than.
In this industry, we say something and then it's held up by something else. And
yep, that's what happens. All right, he said 5 minutes.
This guy wants to know if Core will come out with a fortuitous flavored protein, which is silly. Because there's Miracle Labs, we are the same company.
Just buy.
Well, let's be clear. We're not the same company, but we're related. We're sister companies.
We're cousins.
Just for legal purposes, I want to make that very clear.
We're cousins, but cousin, when you go to a wedding.
The redheaded stepchild? Yeah, that's Miracle Labs.
Well, no, I was going to say, you go to a wedding and you're like, oh man, that girl's really attractive. And then your mom's like, that's your cousin. And you're like, and you're like, I don't care. I'm just kidding.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
Sounds like a true story.
But maybe he just likes the marshmallows. See, marshmallows are not something we would do in the Core line.
So
the answer to that is no. But little secret, one of the ingredients in the fortuitous keepsakes that makes the protein actually taste so good is a blueberry flavoring, which that blueberry flavoring is used in the blueberry MRP, exact same flavor.
Secret to the trade.
If you like that kind of fruity, milky taste, you might really like the blueberry MRP.
Mm-hmm.
So cool.
And the other thing that we're going to do is we're going to actually. No, I want to mention here.
Wait.
Yeah, bust it out. Now I'm excited.
My balls were literally tingling.
Yeah.
No, this is not. It's hot.
It's hot. The heat comes out.
And meat. I started to sweat.
The meat. No, but this isn't we're not bringing anything out. This was just what we were going to be doing with our Core Pro and MRP. The changes in that line.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's no need to bring it up now.
No.
Don't know about it. Yeah.
Good talk.
Teaser. Good talk.
That's all I got.
That's all you got.
Dude, you guys need to come up with questions. I mean, next time we post,
you know,
I'm on every single one of you guys.
You know, the thing is, we did just talk for like a half an hour.
Yeah.
So like we really can't go anywhere.
Yeah, Bobby's cutting us off.
Yeah, he's already like cutting us off. So
Bobby's
perfect.
giving us the...
Thanks for the questions.
Yeah. Thanks for the questions, guys.
Until next time, keep crushing it.
Do something.
Yeah, do something. What's going to be your outro?
Watch me whip. Watch me. No, my outro will not be that. It'll be stab out.
Stab out.
Stab out.
But you need like you're dusting like.
Oh, like LeBron.
Yeah.
I'll be like stab out.
There you go.